Hello, thank you very much for having me here today. I'm Laura Coates. I'm the head of process automation for Siemens in the United States in our digital industries business. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how we're seeing digitalization within Siemens and how digitalization is changing our industry. And with me today also is Stefan Wagner, who's the CTO of the Siemens Process Automation Group. He's coming to us from our headquarters in Germany, so we're very pleased that he can join me in co-presenting our vision of digitalization and the changes we're seeing in the process industries. So Siemens right now is really rethinking industry to help further our customers in accomplishing their digital transformations. And we're focusing on three core areas. One, we know that our process industry manufacturers place a very high emphasis on productivity, flexibility, and speed. So we as Siemens are working to provide industry-specific solutions to enable our manufacturers in the process industries to really harness the productivity, flexibility, and speed that are available through digitalization. So working together, making sure that we have the industry expertise to provide solutions that are specific to the process industries. We also know that digital transformation requires a holistic approach. As Siemens, we're combining cutting-edge technologies, new collaboration methods and models, new business models into a united digital and automation approach. So we have a comprehensive offering of software, hardware, and services and consulting to create this holistic approach within Siemens. And three, both now and in the future, we know that customers must think and act in ecosystems. So as Siemens, we work to co-create within open ecosystems with our customers, with our providers and suppliers, with our developers, integrators, and solution partners. Digitalization and digital transformations is not something you can send a really smart guy into a room to figure out and come out, here's your offering for digitalization and here's how you're going to transform. It's a collaborative process, and it's something that we as Siemens are working very closely with all of those customers, partners, in order to develop solutions. So I wanted to share with all of you today three different examples of where we have worked with customers and partners to work in these ecosystems and create digital transformations. So there's a couple of really exciting ones where we've successfully implemented some transformations for the next level of productivity, flexibility, and speed for our customers. A really fun and exciting one was Duolux. Now Duolux, probably in the US aren't that familiar with them, but they're an Australian paint manufacturer. So they were looking to create a new manufacturing facility, and they had historically been working in batches of over 5,000 liters of paint. Now that's a lot of paint. That's a room full of paint. And they were finding, hey, our inventories are building up in lovely colors like, maybe an avocado, which was popular at one time, no longer popular, and when the Pantone Color of the Year was announced by the Color Institute, they weren't able to move as fast as they wanted to get that out to the market. So we worked with them and created a very customized end-to-end digitalization solution with a number of our Siemens offerings, with our Comos walk-in side, with our Simit simulation, with our PCS7 offerings, where we were able to create a model where instead of the 5,000 liters of paint in their new facility, they have greater customization and can, instead of 5,000, produce in lots of 100 liters or less. So that's a little small pallet of paint instead of a huge room full of paint. They've gone to 50% less time for testing to paint production, so increasing the speed of their operations. They also are 8 times faster production processes. So when an order comes in, a customer says, hey, I want a specific color blue, what they can do is they take the order right from SAP, right into their MES system, and it automatically disperses what colors they need, what pigments they need in order to create that paint in a custom process that's managed by the PCS7 automation system. So it's really a much, much faster process. They have fewer downtimes due to predictive maintenance of their different assets, and they're using the SIMATIC IT EBR, so that's electronic batch records, for paperless production, so much more efficient and energy efficient as well. So that's a really nice example. Another exciting example that I personally was quite interested to learn about was Cathay. So Cathay has been looking at very innovative solutions. So, a lot of what we use today uses polyamides behind it, which is produced by fossil fuels. Cathay has developed a process and done R&D so that instead of using fossil fuels to produce these polyamides, they can be produced by agricultural products like corn. So Cathay specifically uses this corn and these polyamides in clothing applications. But what we did with them is, again, create an end-to-end solution, which is rewriting the future of their industry and making sure that they have end-to-end digitalization in their process. So they've been able to achieve consistent increased capacity in their new facility in China, autonomous factory control with a stronger digital team, faster time to market, and this is critical for them, with increased R&D qualification rates. So that was really, really important, that their R&D speed is quick and efficient, and greater production security, again, with this predictive operation and maintenance. So that was another nice example. Now, those are huge end-to-end automation, digitalization solutions, and one of the questions that my customers often ask me is, well, okay, digitalization is so big, where do I start with all of this? I think one of the examples that we've worked on here in the US is very nice with our customer DuPont, and I think some of the people who actually worked on this with us are here at the forum this week. They have a lot of valves. I mean, they're ubiquitous in DuPont. They're everywhere. And they had some data that those valves were generating, but they weren't capturing it and using it in an efficient and effective manner. So we partnered with them and worked with them to create an application which monitors those valves, detects abnormalities, and makes sure that they can do predictive maintenance planning and predict failures so that there will be less wear and reduced operating costs. So they know and have the transparency of what's happening in their system and when they should go out and make a repair before something fails on its own. So that's an example of where do you get started with digitalization. So I think I'll turn it over to Stefan to talk a little bit more about the overall picture of how Siemens does this.
Yes, thank you, Laura. So when we take a look on our United Digital and Automation approach, you see here the layers. Usually instrumentation control system is built up. And the picture here on the right showing us here the elements which are now divided into modular types. So usually in Europe, more and more industries are divided into modular. And on the left side, we see the enhancement towards open architectures. And when we look on that, we have here the digital infrastructure. I will come to that point later, followed by a process industry technology stack, where we put application and software tools in it. And on top of it, we do have the consulting and integration and the business model. And this rounds up our overall portfolio. We selected one or the other example from our portfolio, starting here from the industrial edge. Then we talk about industrial 5G and our MindSphere cloud platform, followed by our Simatic PCS7 automation system, plant side as an application in our industry suites, rounded up by AI library and some offering about PSI GPROMs. When we look to that, and I will quickly talk about the news in MindSphere. MindSphere is our cloud application platform. We have the connectivity layer in there where we can hook up all our elements from the edge, the IoT sensors from various domains to the system. And on top, we have our applications. And you see here Mendix. So we bought Mendix last year, and Mendix is a low-code platform where we are able to build really rapidly applications which serve the needs from our customers. Having said this, when we look a little bit closer to the edge layer, here we have the local secure bulk and bulk processing with IT in automation. We have really shorter innovation cycles because we are able to greater flexibility and constant software operating systems. We are able here to update really fast, central updates, security, we heard this in the morning, and also integrated connectivity. And last but not least, this is also an open ecosystem that more and more suppliers can share and participate in our industrial edge ecosystem. And the last we bought here is Pixium. Pixium is our management system in our edge platform, where we are able to easy and to bring value to the industrial edge. Having said this, when we look to the application layer, on the application layer, we have our process industry suites. These process industry suites, for instance, they are separated into the main 4 pillars: engineering, ensure asset uptime, improve processes, and manage operation. These 4 pillars, we built together a portfolio over the last 2 years where we are able to increase rapidly, and Laura already mentioned one or the other examples, helping our customers to improve their facilities. The process industry artificial intelligence library. I mean, of course, all these applications are equipped with AI and data analytics capabilities. For sure, we need to have all information where we can predict, for instance, valve issues from the depot example, but we have also other customers. And you see here some of these examples showing that we help to predict and increase the processes of our customers. So when we look to 5G, we are starting our investments already 2 years ago in 5G. We have a clear strategy within Siemens to build the next industrial 5G layer. Here we do have 5G interoperability tests in Germany already running, and we have already equipped one of our facilities in the eastern Germany by a 5G standard, which is already there. So we are looking forward to build this industrial 5G layer together with our customers. Maybe you can continue.
Certainly. So another very exciting acquisition that we made over this last couple months in order to better expand our holistic suite of offerings in digitalization is the acquisition of PSE. So now we can model and create a digital twin for products and processes in the process industry. So in chemical, petrochemical, pharma, and food and beverage, we can do detailed simulations of different processes that are validated with real-time process data with the use of the PSE technology and software. So that's really, really exciting. I'd like to share a good customer example. We did recently with our customer Sabic. So this is an optimized operation of a cracker. So they're doing this cracker. And we were able to use PSE and model this and create a twin to optimize their process and produce a 2% higher yield in that cracker. And they were able to roll this out and replicate this in a number of their different operations. So it's very exciting when you can see 2% higher yield and supporting your customers directly translating into dollars in their bottom line. So that was a really nice example of what PSE can do, and we're pleased to have brought that into the portfolio over this last year. Another exciting development that we launched in the last couple months is the Simatic PCS Neo. So this is our new DCS, distributed control system, which is built on the same hardware as our existing Simatic PCS7 platform. So it's really an investment protection, future-proof thing where you can use the same hardware, and now for customers who are interested, they can go to an HTML5-based platform, which is very modular and scalable, so you can use a variety of different sizes of operations, small units, larger plants, can all go to this model where they can, from anywhere in the world where you have access to the internet, be monitoring and controlling their system. So it's very scalable. You can drive global collaboration where customers are seeing attrition in their workforce and need to have different models of managing their systems. It's a very powerful tool with an intuitive user design, object-oriented data management that we're very pleased to have brought out into the market for that DCS space. So that was an exciting offering that we're bringing to the market. Another thing that we are able to offer as a part of our comprehensive digitalization offering is plant site cloud services. So this is another web-based platform, secure access to plant data in collaboration with Bentley. So what this does is you can consolidate all of your relevant data, so 1D, 2D, 3D data, all brought together to kind of create a comprehensive picture of your operations in a cloud-based portal and digital twin. So before I talked about the digital twin of a process. This is just a digital twin of a manufacturing operation and plant. So it creates a visualization opportunity of current plant data at any time, consistent data, even if you're doing a plant expansion, and it makes all things visible thanks to an intuitive web portal. So, I mean, it's amazing how easy this technology is to use. I've seen it in action, and it's really, really powerful. So it's another exciting kind of part of our holistic digitalization portfolio. I think what we've highlighted here today, we've tried to kind of walk through our industry suites, how we work with co-creation with our customers, and the artificial intelligence library, the automation offerings that we have in the process controls with PCS NAO, simulation and model-based simulation in the PSE, so the digital twins, both of the process and of the facility and the factory, optimization and digital asset management with Plant Site and some of our new applications that we've co-created with customers. We've given you a little taste of some of these things. We also have a booth over in the kind of an innovation area right in the front. So I think if you want to learn more about these offerings, we're happy to host you there. And we're also happy to answer a few questions of how Siemens is thinking industry further and enabling our customers to drive the digital transformation right now, if you'd like to ask anything.